What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the TheVaultProScooters. Today, we are here for another episode of What's New in Scootering, and you guys know the drill by now. The holiday season is here, new products are hitting, and it is our job to show you what is new in the scootering world. So, to give you some context, today we're gonna be taking a look at the long-awaited Aztek line, the 2024 line to be exact, because there's a ton of new products, updates to previous products, new colors and whatnot, and everything looks really good, so we're really excited to show you. And without further ado, let's get into it. First product is gonna be the Aztek grips. So here they are. These are the Aztek Lite 2 grips. So these are the same Aztek grips, but maybe they've been updated a little bit in the formula. They do have the same texture, same shape, same design as the previous Aztek grips. There are just some new colors, like I'm holding right now. But these are 6.5-inch long, very, very soft grips. They got the Aztek logo on both sides here. Got Aztek bar ends, you guys can see. They look pretty good. They look pretty good. Either way, these are just very comfortable grips, very safe choice. And since they're a bit longer, if you like longer grips, they're gonna do you good. So Aztek grips, nothing crazy there, but some new colors. And speaking of those, the first new color we have here is cream. Cream is a color that you don't really see too much in scootering. So we got them here in the Aztek grips. Next up is black. These are pretty much the same grips as last year, but in black. And everybody likes a black grip, so kind of need to have them. Same grip as the cream, just in black. Next up is blue. So we have the Aztek grips in blue as well. I really like this blue. The last blue, or I guess it was teal, just a lighter blue. These are more of a dark royal blue, and I'm a bigger fan of them. And finally, the last color of the new Aztek grips is gray. Like I said, same exact grip, just in gray. Same bar ends, same design, nothing different. But if you have gray scooter parts, this is gonna match. All right, well, that's it for the Aztek grips. Moving on from grips, Aztek did also update their headsets, so they have a new headset design, so let's run through those. When it comes to a headset, there's not really much to say, but I will show you guys just so you know what's new. Aztek headset in black, just your standard integrated headset, black dust cover with the Aztek logo. Pretty minimalist, but gets the job done. We do have a few more colors, so next up is gonna be silver. This headset will match the silver parts that we're gonna see shortly, but silver headset. Moving on, we also have gray. So gray headset, match those gray grips perfectly. More of a gunmetal for the headset, I will say. Since it's anodized on metal, it looks a little bit more gunmetal gray than just your standard gray. And finally, the last color of Aztek's headset, we also have blue. This pattern of color is gonna come back, I promise you. So just pay attention to the colors that these headsets are available in, because you're not gonna get away from it this video. That is all we have to say about the Aztek headset. Like I said, it's a headset. Not much to really say about it, but if you guys are in the market for a new headset and you wanna support Aztek, they got some pretty cool colors available for you now. Moving on from the headset, let's break into one of the brand new key components of a scooter that everybody's gonna need, which is your clamp. And Aztek has introduced a brand new SCS clamp to the world, which is the Ember SCS. Aztek previously did have the Pandora SCS, very, very lightweight, slim, standard fitting only SCS clamp, and a lot of people liked it, and it looks like they pretty much just redesigned it, brought it back to us today, and called it the Ember SCS. And it does look different. It looks a lot more refined, detailed, a lot of the grooves and the indentations. It just looks like more of a final product. I'm a big fan of Aztek's simplified designs. This SCS is very simple and sleek, but gets the job done. So when it comes to specs for the Ember SCS, you're looking at M8 clamp bolts, so those 6mm head bolts. You're not gonna be stripping those out. Of course, they come in Aztek's iconic red colorway. All of Aztek's hardware has been red for the last couple years, but it is a staple at this point. And when you see red hardware, you know it's an Aztek product. As far as the actual clamp goes, you can only ride standard size bars on it. Doesn't come with a shim, does not fit oversized bars. So if you guys are looking to ride oversized bars in this guy, do not buy it. But if you have standard, you're good to go. Obviously, this is an SCS clamp, so you guys can only ride SCS compression, so take that into account as well. And that's pretty much it. It does come in a few colors, but before I get into those colors, let's weigh it really quick. Let's go ahead and weigh the Aztek Ember SCS. Woo! 6 ounces. Good job, Aztek. That is a very light SCS clamp. And now that you guys know everything about it, let's showcase its 4 colorways, starting with gray. Like I said, pay attention to those headset colors because it was gonna come back. So we have the gray Ember SCS here. Very, very sleek. I think the red hardware looks really, really good. If you guys remember the Aztek Jake Swanson deck or the 666 deck, gunmetal and red hardware, Just looks really, really good. So we got gray here. We also have black, so gloss black, red hardware. Same exact SCS clamp that I just showed you, just a different colorway, but very, very sleek. Next up, we have polished or chrome, and you guys have to excuse me, my fingerprints are all over this clamp. I couldn't prevent it, they're everywhere. But you guys get the point. It's a chrome SCS clamp, red hardware as well. Very, very nice. And the final colorway of the Aztek Ember SCS is blue. Did you guys see that one coming? Told you the headset came in blue, the clamp comes in blue, but very, very nice royal blue. Another time where this red hardware it just works. But that's all the colors for the Aztek Ember SCS. Psych, there's one more color. It's a signature color. Did I even tell you guys that there's a bunch of signature products in this new line? And they're pretty sick. There is a signature Ember SCS, so let's go ahead and show you guys that as well. I don't even want to show you guys what it is because it's just so beautiful. However, I have to show you. Say hello to the Aztek jack mount signature Ember SCS clamp. Just take it all in. The checkerboard pattern is coming from Jack Mount's original Aztek Iris wheel. If you guys remember that, drop a comment. But Jack Mount did have a signature Aztek wheel a few years ago. It featured the white and red color scheme with the checkerboard pattern. It even featured the same little graphics here on the front of the SCS. So really, really cool to see it come full circle. And now Jack has a signature SCS clamp and something else that we'll get to in a little bit, but this is it. So if you guys want to support Jack Mount, you guys can pick up his signature SCS clamp here at the Vault. It's white with the red checkerboard pattern, red hardware to accent it beautifully. And this is an SCS clamp that you're gonna regret not buying because once they're sold out, they're gone. And when you see them on somebody else's scooter, you're gonna be bummed that you didn't get it. So get it right now. We're moving on up, guys. We did SCS clamps. Let's move on to forks. And I know a lot of you guys wanna see this one. So let's take a look at Aztek's Circa 3 fork. The Circa 3 fork is currently the lightest fork in the world that you guys can buy today. If you don't believe me, we just did the lightest custom build ever. Click the card up there to check it out. Aztek's Circa 3 fork is not only the lightest fork on the market, it is also one of the best looking forks on the market. Dom at Aztek has been refining the Circa fork from 1 to 3, removing more material, finding different ways to make it lighter and stronger without sacrificing its amazing looks. So the Circa fork is here. It's back, it's better than ever, and it is in stock, but I promise you, not for long. We don't even have the black Circa fork in this video to show you guys because all of them sold so fast. So if you want the lightest fork on the market, go get it now. All right, I'm done bloating about this fork. Let's talk specs very quickly. Aztek Circa 3 fork comes compatible with 24mm wheels by 110mm wheels. You cannot ride anything bigger than 24mm. You cannot ride anything bigger than 110. It's got spacers, it's a smaller fork, it's not made to fit bigger wheels. This fork is made for performance and it's made to be light, so it can't be light and also be compatible with every wheel. So this fork is purposeful. It knows what it's doing and it's here. So if you buy it, make sure you're not trying to ride bigger wheels because it's not gonna work. SCS compression, HIC compression, M8 compression bolt on the top. You guys know the deal. You've heard it a million times. Made out of 7075 aluminum, very lightweight. But I know you guys want to know the bread and the butter. You guys want me to get to it. How much does the Circa 3 fork weigh? Let's do it. Whoa, 6.5 ounces. I don't think you guys can even acknowledge how light 6.5 ounces is until you're like holding it in your hand and you're like, this is my scooter fork? Like, this is the thing that takes all of the abuse that you throw at your scooter and it weighs this much? Scootering has come a long way, that's all I'm gonna say. Either way, incredibly lightweight fork, redesigned here with the new Aztek light bulb logo here on the front. Very, very elegant. It comes in a few more colors. I'm holding blue right here. Obviously, this blue will match the rest of the Aztek blue products, so if you wanted to pick up the Ember SCS in blue and the Circa fork in blue, it's all gonna blend together perfectly, and I think this one looks great. Next up, we have silver. It's obviously matched the silver SCS clamp. Same exact fork, same specs, just silver. Like I said, a lot of people like silver and chrome, so if that's for you, then this is the fork for you, but looks great. Next up, we got gray. Once again, this will match the gray Ember SCS clamp, gunmetal fork, red hardware, very, very beautiful. Like I mentioned earlier, the fork does come in black. We just don't have this fork in black right now, but take my word on it. We got photos on the website so you guys can see what it looks like. It looks like this fork, but in this color. Just imagine this fork, but in this color, and that's what it looks like. It comes in black. It's not in stock right now, but it'll come back. Keep an eye on it. Put your email down on the website. You'll get notified. So, unfortunately, we don't have the black Circa 3 fork here, but what we do have is another one. You guys are waiting for it. Here it is. To tie together perfectly with his SCS clamp, Aztek has also rewarded Jack Mount with his own own signature Circa 3 fork, and it matches perfectly with the clamp. So you have an all gloss white Circa 3 fork here, and the entire tube of the fork features the same pattern as his SCS clamp, same logo, same checkerboard pattern. It's just, look at these two guys together. You're telling me you don't want these on your scooter? Come on, incredibly lightweight, insane scooter rider, very reputable brand. What more do you need? Jack Mount's fork does feature the same specs as the other Circa 3 forks, so wheel compatibility, compression, the whole 9 yards, except you do have Jack Mount's signature graphic and colorway here. And same as the SCS clamp, when this fork is out of stock and it's gone, it is gone forever. If you want this, you need to buy it now because you will not be able to later. I'm just trying to help. Just trying to help. But that is it for the Aztek Circa 3 fork. If you guys are interested in picking up one of those forks, the link for everything that we showcased today will be down below. So in case you want to learn more and you want to see the product, check out those links. Moving on, next up is the Aztek Architect 2 wheels. Brand new wheel design from Aztek. We had the Architect wheels prior. He's updated them. Architect 2 wheels finally here, and they look pretty sick. So specs for the Aztek Architect 2 wheels, you're looking at 110 millimeter by 24 millimeter. These guys come with pre-installed Aztek bearings. They spin great, as you guys can tell. As far as urethane rating goes, we actually don't know what hardness these are because Aztek doesn't disclose that information. However, I've heard these wheels roll pretty great, but unfortunately you might just have to buy them for yourself and find out for yourself. And one final thing to take into account with these Aztek Architect 2 wheels is that they are sold in pairs. So when you buy them on our website, you are gonna get 2 wheels for the price that you see. So be careful, some wheels are sold individually, but these guys are affordable and they look great. When it comes to color for the Aztek Architect 2 wheels, of course we do have 4 beautiful colors, starting with blue urethane, blue core, very, very beautiful. Matches the rest of the parts perfectly. Next up is black. So black urethane, black core, very sleek. Next up is cream. We actually have cream urethane and then a gunmetal or gray core, which I think is a very, very beautiful color combination. And the final colorway of the Architect 2 wheels is gray. So gray urethane and a gray core. Very, very nice. So those are all the colors of the Aztek Architect 2 wheels. One thing that I do want to note is that these wheels actually come in an XL version. So if you're not a fan of riding 24 millimeter wheels, Architect 2 wheels come in the XLs, which are 115 millimeter by 30 millimeter. So you're gonna get the exact same wheel, just beefed up a little bit. So a bit bigger in size, and you're gonna get that 30 wide width. So like I said, if you're a fan of riding 30 wide wheels and you wanted to try the Architect 2s, don't worry, Aztek's got you. You guys can pick these up in the XL version and you will be good to go. Moving on to a product that I'm very excited to talk about. We have another wheel, and this is no other than Eric 2 Real Harkless's signature Aztek wheel. If you guys don't know who Eric Harkless is, you're missing out. Rides for the Vault, rides for Aztek, rides for Northern Limited. My boy, he's from the Bronx, and he's not only one of the funniest people I've ever met, but he is one talented scooter rider. So make sure to check out Eric 2 Real because he is the boy, and I'm very, very hyped that he has a signature wheel, and here it is. So you guys are looking at an Aztek full core wheel. So you got the full core here, and it is anodized in a very, very beautiful pink colorway. You have Eric 2 Real's signature logo here, showing a little bit of symbolism from where he's from in New York, and just a beautiful wheel. Eric's wheel does come 110 millimeters by 24 millimeters, pre-installed bearings, just like the Architect 2s. Also, just like the Architect wheels, Eric's wheels come in a 115 by 30 mil option. So if you want the bigger version of Eric 2 Real's wheel, you guys can grab it. Shout out to Eric Gwimmy, if you're watching this, I love you and I'm proud of you. Eric's wheel, now available, go get them. And if you aren't a big fan of wheels and you're looking to still support Eric 2 Real, don't worry, because we also have Eric's signature Aztek DaVinci bar. So not only was Eric rewarded a pair of wheels, he was also rewarded with a T-bar. And this is a 4130 chromoly steel T-bar coming 24 inches wide by 28 inches tall. It is standard without a slit, so you guys can only ride SCS compression or IHC compression if you wanted to cut a slit. Here on the top of the bar, you can see Eric's signature logo here. here. You got the New York in the chain. You got his initials here. Very, very beautiful. Ties together. Excellent. And as far as the color goes for the bar, it's not just a silver bar. It's actually more of like a champagne. I'll try to show you, but it's really, really hard to see on camera, but it's got a bit of a flake to it. It's a little bit more silvery, goldish. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of got a bit of ivory in it if you guys were a fan of those Aztek products. Just a beautiful color bar, and it definitely separates itself from just your standard silver or chrome T-bar. Either way, shout out to Eric and shout out to Aztek, so you can cop his wheels or his bar. All the links will be down below.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, we took a quick break and we're back. So let's take a look at Aztek's brand new Corsa deck. If you guys don't know what the Aztek Corsa deck is, it is the deck from the Aztek Corsa Complete, which we will take a look at in a second. However, the Corsa came out last year and it was the lightest out of the box scooter you could buy. And Aztek was claiming that the Corsa deck was incredibly light and it is sold individually. So you guys can buy just this deck on its own if you'd like. When it comes to specs of the Aztek Corsa deck, you're looking at 4.5 inches wide by 19.5 inches long. So it is 100% geared towards park riders. When it comes to wheel compatibility for the Aztek Corsa deck, you're looking at 24 millimeter by 110 millimeter as well. This deck is geared towards park riding and geared towards smaller and lighter parts. So you guys can only ride up to 110 by 24 millimeter wheels on this deck. As you can see, there are no other spacers here, but it's good to go. Other than that, we don't actually have the head tube angle on this deck, but our best guess is it's probably somewhere in between 83 to 84 degrees. If Aztek releases that information, we will update it on our website, but just going off of our gut feeling, it's probably somewhere in that range. Holding the deck, I can tell you that this deck is incredibly light. Aztek was not messing around when they said that this deck was light. We'll weigh it here in a sec, but I just want to quickly show you guys the bottom of it. One really cool thing that I just noticed on this deck is right here. If you guys can see this drop out here, normally this is pretty hollow. It kind of dips in on normal scooter decks, but on the Corsa deck, this is all one flat piece all the way in, which is very interesting. Either way, very, very sleek deck. Looks great. Bottom graphic looks nice. Very, very flat. You guys got the Aztek logo here on the side as well. Can't forget the red hardware. It wouldn't be an Aztek deck without it. And that's pretty much it. So before I show you guys the other color that the Corsa deck comes in, let's go ahead and weigh it just so you guys at home will finally be happy. All right, let's find out. 2 pounds. 7.4 ounces. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one incredibly light scooter deck. So shout out to Aztek. And like I said, if you guys are looking for a very light deck, Aztek has it. So like I said, this is the black colorway. Let's go ahead and check out the other one. Look at this blue. Ladies and gentlemen, this is by far one of my favorite colors I think I've ever seen in a deck. It is blue, but it is like this really, really deep teal. In some areas, it looks really dark. In some areas, it looks really light, but this blue is beautiful. And this deck is no different than the one that I just showed you. This is blue, that one's black. As far as specs go, everything else is exactly the same. But I just really want you guys to take a look at this. Just very, very beautiful deck. But that is all we have to say about the Aztek Corsa deck. Check out the link down below if you want to learn more. Moving on, we also have a brand new Aztek Siren deck. So they redesigned the Siren deck, made some small improvements, and here it is. When it comes to the specs of the Aztek Siren deck, you guys are looking at 6 inches wide by 22 inches long. Wheel compatibility wise, the Siren does have compatibility for 30 wide wheels and 24 millimeter wheels. So you have 2 sets of spacers here to ride either of those. You can ride up to 120 millimeter wheels on the Siren deck as well. And here at the bottom, you guys can see the Siren logo, very, very flat, small indent here in the center, but still very, very smooth. Siren logo. Of course, if you guys have been following Aztek, the Siren is not the newest product, but the Siren graphic and imagery has lived in Aztek products for a while now, and it's still here on the bottom. Taking a look at the head tube, we have a very, very big cutout as well. So if you slap stickers on your fork, you'll see them. And if you guys also look inside the head tube, you can see all those grooves that have been machined out of the head tube to reduce weight. That's all those are there to do, is reduce weight, because obviously Aztek wants to make their products as light as possible, and they did so here. So Aztek Siren deck is here, very affordable and very, very sleek. We're looking at the gray colorway. It's got the black graphic It's got the red hardware. Very, very big fan. This deck looks great. However, it does come in another colorway, so let's check that out. Next up is black. Of course, Aztek had to make the Siren deck in black because it's everybody's favorite color, scooter part, and here it is. So nothing too crazy, just a very, very solid black. Red hardware pops on it as well. And on the bottom, the deck is actually more of a matte black and the graphic is gloss black, which I think was a beautiful idea to help separate it from the background, but also stick with the black color scheme. So the Siren logo's in gloss black, deck is in matte black, ties together perfectly. And it's a really, really solid feeling deck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to talk about the product that most of you probably clicked on this video to check out, and I'm really excited. So sitting in front of me now is the Aztek Austin Coates signature Europa 2 deck. Let's unpack this very quickly. Not only is this an Austin Coates signature deck, so shout out to Austin, but also this is a Europa 2 deck. So Dom is introducing the new version of the Europa 2 deck with Austin Coates' signature. So just take into account that this isn't just an Austin Coates Europa deck, this is the brand new version of the Europa deck. So let's talk about the differences. First off, this is a big deck. However, this does not feel like a big deck in my hands because it's so light. We will talk about weight in a little bit, but just letting you know that for a deck of this size, it does not feel like this big. Either way, Europa 2 deck coming in hot. Let's talk about the specs. Austin Coates' signature Europa 2 deck comes 7 inches wide by either 23 or 24 inches long, just like the previous Europa deck. Wheel compatibility wise, nothing new has changed. Aztek has always made sure that the Europa deck is compatible with bigger wheels, especially since you are riding a 7-inch wide deck. A lot of people are probably gonna wanna ride wider wheels for a little bit of clearance. So the Europa 2 deck is compatible with 24 and 30 millimeter wheels. It also is compatible with up to 120 millimeter wheels. So you can throw some 120 by 30 wides on here and get all the clearance you need. When it comes to the spacers that Aztek uses, Ruben here behind the camera can vouch that Dom has innovated something with these spacers that a lot of other brands haven't done, using the spacer not only to space out the wheel, but to also act as another surface to grind on was a genius idea. And what I mean by that is since these big boy spacers here come out so wide, when you're doing 5.0s or you're doing 50s, a lot of times you're actually gonna be grinding on this spacer. Look at that, like 5.0s, think about it, on a normal deck, you would 5.0 normally up to here. This is all the space you would have to 5.0. But with these spacers, you can get all the way up to the wheel and you're still grinding on aluminum. That's crazy, that's crazy. So just in case you guys didn't know that, the Europa spacers are beautiful. So that's it for wheel compatibility. If we take a look here at the head tube, we can also see some new improvements from the previous Europa deck. First off, we can see these cutouts here in the bottom of the head tube. These cutouts here really do add a bit of design to the head tube that looked a little bit naked otherwise. So I'm really hyped to see them here. Taking a look at the bottom of the deck, you guys can see we have some cutouts here. The only big difference between the 23-inch and the 24-inch version of Austin Coates' deck is the 23 has these cutouts, the 24-inch version doesn't, so nothing too crazy there. While we're here, we can also finally feast our eyes on Austin's signature graphic here. You can see it's primarily here all at the bottom of the deck. We have the tree coming out, the design here, and of course his name, Austin Coates, and it just looks amazing. The gunmetal gray with the white and the red, just a beautiful scooter deck and piece of art. The Europa 2 deck is one of the best feeling decks. It not only was the first deck to introduce convex on the bottom of the deck, but the Europa 2 has since taken the convex from the Europa 1 and just mellowed it out a little bit. Took the feedback that people were giving and just mellowed it out. So this deck does still feature convex and it still will feel like it has convex, but it might not feel as intense as the previous Europa deck. Before we move on from the Aztek Austin Coates deck, since this is such a large deck and Aztek is revolved around making parts so light, I think it's only fair that we go ahead and we weigh both of the Austin Coates decks so you guys sitting at home can feel relieved knowing exactly how much these decks weigh in case you were looking to get one. I have the 23-inch Austin Coates deck here. Let's go ahead and weigh it. Just over 4 pounds. 4 pounds, 0.3 ounces. So not only is this a 7-inch wide deck, but it only weighs 4 pounds. So there you guys have it in case you were wondering. Now let's go ahead and weigh the larger one. Got the 24. So the 24-inch version weighs 4 pounds. 2.7 ounces. So the 24-inch version weighs 2.4 ounces more than the 23. But regardless, these are very, very light 7-inch wide decks. Dare I say, the lightest 7-inch wide decks you guys can buy right now. So good job, Aztek. One last thing that I do want to notate about these Europa decks is the sizing. Nothing too crazy, but something you guys should be taking into account. There is a 24-inch long version of this deck, which is sitting in front of me. However, 24 inches sounds very long, but it actually ends up being closer to a 23, and the 23 ends up being closer to a 22. So if you're looking for closer to 22, pop the 23, and if you're looking to get the 24, just know that it feels closer to a 23 than an actual 24. We have officially made it through all of the brand new Aztek parts. We looked at the grips, the wheels, the forks, the clamps, the headsets, the bars, and the decks. However, it is finally time to take a look at the bread and butter, which I know a lot of you guys are looking for as well. Let's take a look at the brand new Aztek completes, starting with the iconic Aztek Fountain Complete. Fountain Complete has come a very long ways. It has gone through multiple updates, and as we have it today, this is the exact same scooter as last year's Aztek Fountain. However, features a few different things here and there, as well as some new colors. So if you have last year's Aztek Fountain, along with the rest of the completes I'm gonna show you today, just know that they're primarily the same exact scooter, except for the color and some minor differences. Let's dive into the specs of the Aztek Fountain, starting with the bars. You guys are gonna get a 26-inch tall by 22-inch wide Aztek hollow aluminum bar. So since these guys are aluminum, they're gonna be very lightweight. You also are gonna have your standard Aztek light grips, same ones that I just showed you, but they come on the complete. Moving on down, we have a slimmed down Aztek SCS clamp. I don't believe this SCS has changed from the previous completes, but it might be a little different. Either way, very slim and sleek SCS clamp, and I'm just happy that more complete scooters are coming with SCS compression. Moving down to the headset, we're gonna get that brand new Aztek headset. This one's in red, but you are gonna get that brand new dust cover on this complete as well. When it comes to the deck of the Aztek Fountain Complete, this is your Aztek Fountain deck. They have sold these separately. It was actually one of the most affordable 5-inch wide decks you could ever get for only $100, but it is back and it is alive in a brand new colorway on the Fountain Complete. When it comes to the deck on the Aztek Fountain Complete, you are gonna get your standard 5.5-inch wide by 21-inch long Aztek Fountain deck, except this guy comes in a brand new color that you're seeing now. When it comes to wheel compatibility, you guys can ride up to 120mm wheels. As of now, you can only ride 24mm wide wheels because it doesn't actually come with any other spacers to ride bigger wheels. However, there is a bit of room in there that we think you could squeeze in some wider wheels. The dropouts on the Aztek Fountain Complete are really nice. They're these aluminum plugs that we've seen before, but I'm really hyped to see the aluminum plugs because they last a lot longer than plastic ones, and aluminum just slides beautifully, and they have them on the Aztek Fountain. Let's talk about the fork. This is just a very sleek Aztek fork, SCS or HIC compression of course, but very sleek and straightforward. The wheels on the Aztek Fountain are actually new, so if you do have last year's model, this is one particular part that will be different. The new completes actually featured the Architect 2 wheels, where the previous models featured the previous wheels. So one small change, but it's nice to see the Architect 2s on here. Taking a look here at the bottom of the Fountain Complete, we also have the iconic Aztek Fountain graphic. We've seen this guy before, but I'm happy to see it again today. And other than that, you just have a primarily flat bottom deck, perfect for grinds, and everything that you need to throw at it. Aztek Fountain does come in another colorway, but first let's check out the gray. So this is gray. It's got red accents. You got that red dust cover, red hardware. Everything else is primarily gray. You got gray grips, a bit of a silvery gray bar, gray SCS clamp, gray deck, gray fork, gray wheels. Very gray. However, you have the pops of red that just tie in perfectly. Next up for the Aztek Fountain is gonna be the black colorway. So we have a black deck, we have a black fork here, and we got the black bar. However, we have cream grips that I just showed you earlier in the video. We have a gunmetal SCS clamp here that we just saw on the other one. We also have the red dust cover as well as the other color in the Fountain Complete, and we actually have cream wheels on this Fountain Complete. Very sick colorway. And if we take a look at the bottom of this one, we get the same exact graphic, except this one's in white. Aztek Fountain is just a perfect entry-level pro scooter. It's gonna have every bell and whistle that any scooter rider needs to pretty much progress and grow in the sport. These guys are super affordable, and Aztek is a brand that you guys will be riding for years and years down the line. So shout out to Aztek, and the new fountain looks great. Moving on to the next Aztek Complete, let's go ahead and take a look at the Aztek Corsa Complete. Corsa Complete is the same as last year's, just like I mentioned earlier. However, we have 2 new colorways and a few minor differences, but regardless, let's dive into the specs. Corsa Complete comes with a 24-inch tall by 22-inch wide aluminum bar. You are going to be still getting those Aztek Lite grips on the top as well. Moving down to the SCS clamp. This is actually a different SCS clamp than we have here on the fountain. If you guys can see, there are some actual grooves and indentations all around the back of this SCS clamp. I can tell you that this one does look different than the other ones. However, the Corsa Complete is Aztek's lightest pro scooter that you can buy, and it is the lightest out of the box scooter you can buy. So makes sense, probably shave this down a little bit more to save some weight. Moving down to the headset, you're just gonna get your standard Aztek integrated headset. When it comes to the deck, of course, the Corsa Complete comes with the Corsa deck that I just showed you. So you got the same deck, but just on the scooter. Very, very lightweight. Another really, really cool feature on the Corsa Complete is it actually comes with a Circa fork installed. So it's not the Circa V3, it looks like it's the Circa V2 because it doesn't have the cutout here, but the Circa V2 was the lightest fork in the world before the Circa V3 came out. So just know that you're getting a high quality, what was the lightest fork in the world at one point on this scooter out of the box. So just don't forget that. But when it comes to wheels, just like the rest of the Completes, you're gonna get the Aztek Architect 2 wheels pre-installed. These ones specifically are gray on silver. Moving on to the back of the deck, that's pretty much it. Wheel compatibility wise on the Corsa, you guys can ride 24mm by 110, pretty much the same as the deck. So you can pretty much only stick to the smaller wheels, but that's totally fine. And if we take a look here at the bottom, it's the same as the deck. Very sleek, very simple. However, the Corsa Complete is incredibly light, and I feel like it's not fair to us to sit here and tell you it is so light without going ahead and weighing it for you. So let's set this right here. Let's grab our scale and let's go ahead and weigh it. Aztek Corsa, 6 pounds, 7 ounces. Like I said, this is by far the lightest pro scooter that you guys can buy out of the box right now. So that's insane. Very, very insane. This is the blue colorway, blue deck, blue SCS clamp, and then you got the silver bar, gray clamp, red headset, gray wheels, silver fork. Very, very sleek color combo. However, we do have one more to check out. The second and final colorway that the Aztek Corsa comes in is black. So same exact scooter, just different colors. This guy comes with black on black wheels, black deck, silver fork, black on black wheels. Get the red dust cover to match that red hardware, black SCS clamp, silver bar, and you got the black clamps. All the colors on this Complete are very balanced. They complement each other beautifully, and you guys can choose between black or blue, but the Corsa is a force to be reckoned with, mark my words. All right, guys, we're moving through this video. I hope you all are enjoying. Hopefully nobody has clicked off yet. I know these videos can get a bit long, but we're just trying to showcase how sick all these new scooter parts are. So if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. It is time to finally break down the all-new Aztek Architect Pro scooter. The Architect is one of my favorite scooters ever. If I had to recommend a scooter for somebody to get, the Architect would definitely be on that list, because not only has this scooter been one of the most inexpensive and affordable street pro scooters you can buy, but it just continues to be updated and push the limits of scootering, and that's what we have here today. So let's talk about it. Aztek Architect Pro scooter. Starting at the top, this guy is gonna come with Aztek Lite grips, just like all the Completes. Moving on to the T-bar, you're gonna just get your standard steel T-bar. These guys come 26 inches tall by 22 inches wide. The SCS clamp on the Architect is the same as last year, just your slimmed down, sleek version of your Aztek SCS. Same integrated headset as the other Completes, and you actually have a updated lightweight fork here. This guy looks closer to the Circa 3. It also kind of looks like a trilogy fork, but it does have this cutout here to reduce weight, and it looks like it is exclusive to the Architect Complete, so you can only get this fork on this Complete. When it comes to the deck of the Aztek Architect, not much has changed. You're still looking at 5.5 inches wide by 21 inches long. It is fully boxed end here at the end. You got your plugs, but it is fully squared, so you're gonna be able to lock into any grind Wheel compatibility wise on the Architect, this guy is compatible for larger wheels. As you guys can see, there is a ton of space in between the deck and the wheel. So if you guys can find some spacers that fit it, it'll definitely work. But as is, you guys can only ride 24mm by 120mm or up to 120. So you got some room for expansion, but you might have to use some spacers that you find in your garage. Moving on to the bottom of the Aztek Architect, you guys can see it's pretty much just solid color, nothing really here, but it's all gonna get scratched off anyways. If you guys have owned an Aztek Architect Complete, I'm sure you guys can all vouch for how great it is. And this time around, Aztek just introduced some brand new colorways, and I think it really helps pop this scooter and separate it from a lot of the other ones on the market. We ran through the specs, so I think it's time we talk about color. And speaking of color, this is by far my favorite color of the Aztek Architect. We're looking at the blue. So you got the blue wheels, blue core, blue deck, blue fork, blue SCS, blue bar, and the blue grips. So everything on this scooter for the most part is blue, but it looks really good. Like way better than I guess I would have thought it would look. And I think that's because the accents of red just pop. You know, blue and red go together beautifully. So when you see the red pop out from the blue, it's just great. This is my favorite color by far. But let's go ahead and take a look at a few of the others. Next up is black. So you have a primarily black scooter. You got the black deck, black clamp, black bar, black fork. However, you do also have some gray wheels with the silver core. You have the red accents all throughout the hardware. And you also have gray grips on the top to tie into those wheels. So either way, very sleek colorway, but I still like the blue. All right, next up for the Aztek Architect is silver. So you guys are gonna get a silver deck, cream wheels with the silver core, silver fork, silver clamp, silver bar, and you got the cream grips along with the red hardware. This is another one of those colors that I don't really know if the camera is gonna do justice, but in person, this is a really good looking color scheme. Take a look at the bottom, nothing too crazy, same as the other ones. I'm a big fan of the silver as well, but it's still not better than the blue. So moving in to the final colorway of the Aztek Architect Complete, we have gray. So if you buy this complete, you guys are gonna get a gray deck along with the gray fork, gray SCS clamp, gray T-bar, black on black wheels, black grips, black wheels. Once again, all the colors just balance out beautifully, and this is another really sleek looking scooter. So that's pretty much all we have to say for the Aztek Architect Complete. Very anticipated complete. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for it to come back in stock, so just so you know, it's here. Those are the brand new colors. Let your parents know, because Christmas is coming up quick, and you guys do not want to miss out on picking up one of these completes before they're gone. Final complete, guys. Let's do it. One more scooter to talk about, and that scooter is the Aztek Siren Complete. So the Aztek Siren is the largest out of all of the Aztek Completes. It is definitely the biggest. It features the largest deck, the biggest bar, and essentially is the biggest scooter that Aztek makes. So with that being said, let's talk specs. The Siren Pro Scooter features a 27-inch tall steel T-bar that comes 24 inches wide. Of course, you're gonna get Aztek light grips here at the top. Moving down to the SCS clamp, you're gonna get the same SCS clamp that we saw on the Architect and the Fountain Complete. Very sleek, same headset as well. And we actually have a completely new fork. This fork is a 30 wide compatible fork because the wheels on this Complete are 30 wide, but it does still feature this cutout. It's very slim, it's very sleek. And once again, you can only get this fork on this scooter, which is nice to see. Speaking of the wheels, before we move on to the deck, this Complete does feature the larger Architect wheels. So these are the Architect 2 XLs. These are 115 by 30 millimeters. And I think it was very fitting to put the wider wheels on the larger Complete, so shout out to Dom for that. When it comes to the Siren deck, you guys probably already saw this coming, but this is the same exact deck that I showed you guys earlier, but it comes on the whole Complete. So 6 inches wide, 22 inches long. Not gonna run through the rest of the specs, but this is the Aztek Siren deck that I just showed you. We move on to the back, we're gonna see the other Architect 2 XL wheel, and since these are 30s, that means you can ride 30 wide wheels on this deck as well. So you guys will be good to go to ride 30 wide wheels out of the box. However, if you do ever want to convert down to 24 millimeters, you may have to buy some spacers to drop down to the smaller wheel, but it shouldn't be an issue. We take a look at the bottom and it's the same exact Siren graphic that I showed you guys earlier, but either way, in case you wanted to see it, here it is. The Siren Pro Scooter is honestly perfect for dads that are looking for something to push around, or a rider that's looking to upgrade their scooter and they want something that they're not gonna need to upgrade for a while. Something that's gonna tank all of the grinds and street combos that you're throwing at it, but you might not have too much money to blow. The Siren is perfect for that. It's a big boy scooter and it is made to take big boy tricks. But it is also very affordable, so keep that in mind when shopping for a new scooter. When it comes to the Siren's colors, it only comes in 2, and this is my favorite of the 2. So you got the gray deck, gray SCS clamp, gray fork, gray bar, tying into the blue grips, blue wheels, and to even tie into the red more, of course, we have red hardware, red headset, red grip tape. It all just ties together perfectly. But we do have one more color to check out, so let's see it. I really do think you guys should just get a sneak peek in how many scooters are behind me right now. So can you come down here, Ruben? Can you guys see this? We got Austin Codes decks, we got Architect. I can't even move. There's just so many scooter parts. I gotta grab this one. Well, this is it, guys. This is the final colorway of the Aztek Siren Complete, and that is black. Same exact scooter as the one that I just showed you. However, this one features pretty much all black parts. Starting with the wheels, black on black, deck black, fork black, clamp black, bar black, grips black, except for those pops of red in the hardware and the dust cover and the grip tape. This scooter looks like the Batmobile, and I'm a big fan of it. Aztek did a phenomenal job updating these completes. I think the color spread between all the colors is perfect. Shout out to you, Dom. You killed it. And if anybody is interested in buying Aztek, it's finally here at the Vault. All right, guys. Well, that has been it for this episode of What's New in Scootering. I know it might have been a bit of a long episode, but I really hope you guys got through it. Hopefully you've been updated on all the brand new products. And if you were curious about anything coming out, hopefully you figured it all out today. Like I said previously, if you're interested in any of the products that we showed today, all of the new Aztek line will be dropped down below in the description, so check it out. And until the next video, have a good one, you guys.